Hello, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Oh my. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. I am your girl, Shanae. The purpose of this video is to share my experience going on an EF Ultimate Break trip. I think these kind of videos are super helpful for people who are interested in doing an EF trip, so I'm just here to share my perspective. So if you are interested in that, come on in, have a seat, have a listen. I vlogged the entire trip in Costa Rica, the full, was it like 10 days? The full 10 days. So if you have not checked that out, please go watch those videos first. We got part 1, part 2, and part 3 for you to check out. Let me know what you think of the experience, of the country, of the things that we did. So yeah, check those out first before you watch this, and then come back. I don't want to make this super long, so we're gonna hop right into it. I have my little notes here so that I don't forget anything that I'm trying to say. EF Ultimate Break. So basically what that is an organization that puts together trips for, and I think they changed the age. It's 18 to 35 now. So anybody 18 to 35 can join an EF trip. So you can go to their website, you can scroll through and search for a place that you would like to visit. You book, and EF puts everything together for you. Okay, I'm talking flights, I'm talking transportation, I'm talking accommodation. All you have to do is show up and have an open mind. First, before we talk about my experience, I'm going to talk about my background as a traveler. I lived abroad in Kuwait for 4 years. Oh my gosh. Okay, I forgot the dryer was on, so excuse that first part of the video. I taught abroad in Kuwait for 4 years as a second grade teacher. That is my background. I am an educator. It was an incredible experience. I encourage anyone who has the feeling or the thought that maybe they want to teach abroad, do it. And I'm not going to say do it while you're young, because I actually kind of do not like that phrase, because it's like you can do whatever you want. Life is open to you to live it however you choose, at 21, at 31, or at 51. So anyways, that's my little rant for that. So spent time in Kuwait for 4 years and was able to travel quite a bit. My first trip sort of off of the mainland of the US was a trip to the Dominican Republic my senior year of college, and that I had already had the job in Kuwait, so this was kind of like a tester to see what I would be getting, you know, leaving everything that I've known here. So yeah, lived abroad in Kuwait 4 years, traveled a ton, so I'm used to booking hotels and booking flights and finding excursions to do, doing that all on my own or with friends or whoever I'm traveling with, right? Like, I'm used to doing that. So the cool thing about EF and why I wanted to try it was because they set everything up for you, right? I hadn't had that experience before, so I'm like, this seems kind of dope. I'm also a very outgoing, open person, so I don't mind being put in situations with people who I don't know, with strangers, whatever. I kind of thrive off that kind of thing. That is my background as a traveler and why I was interested in EF, because it's different. Let's get into the nitty-gritty now. Cost. Okay, I'm gonna read from here because I don't want to mess it up. My total cost, right, was $2,833. Okay, so that's 10 days. That includes all accommodations, that includes flight, and I also added travel protection. There was a sale going on at the time that I booked it, so that took off $200. So my actual cost was $2,633. I looked it up, and the current cost for around the same time, if you were gonna take this trip this year, I took it last year, right after Thanksgiving to like December 5th, I think. So around that time, I looked up December 1st to December 10th. It's about $2,769 if you were interested in going this year. How to pay. The way they set it up is really cool. So there's a couple different options, 4 options actually. You can pay monthly or bi-weekly, which is what I did. So I put down, I think it was like 20 bucks a month. The first, when I booked it, I think I booked it in February of last year, around that time, February, March. And then you can pay monthly or bi-weekly until about a month before your trip. So they want everything to be paid and taken care of 30 days before you are heading out. So in October, everything was paid off. It was done. You can also pay $450 as like a deposit and then sort of pay at your own pace until trip time. You can pay in full. And this is new. I didn't see this option when I signed up for it, but I think a lot of companies are using like Affirm, what is it, Klarna, all those different pay over time things. So you can also do that with EF. So you can pay with Affirm, you can pay over 6, 8, or 12 months, and you can even go on your trip even if you're still paying for it. So that is a cost breakdown. Like I said, I put the $22 down in February and I paid bi-weekly up until my trip. What's included, right? What is included in that 2 stacks? So you get all of your hostel stays. I think we stayed at 3 hostels. Ooh, 3 hostels. And then the Best Western when we got there and then when we left. Your airport transportation is taken care of to get around Costa Rica, because we were traveling a lot to multiple different cities. We had a huge bus, nice air-conditioned bus that drove us around from place to place, so we didn't have to worry about that. Some meals were taken care of. We had breakfast every day. There were some dinners that were taken care of. There was also a lot of activities that were included. So ziplining was included, kayaking, we did a coffee tour, the hot springs, Manuel Antonio National Park, and we also took a dance class. So all of that was included. Now, for each different trip, there are different excursions that you can purchase for an extra price if you want to enhance your experience. So there were 3, knocked myself out. Three different extras, I'll say, for our trip. I did 2 of them, which was whitewater rafting, amazing. Definitely a really cool experience. Would love to go whitewater rafting again. That was $40. And then we had a catamaran ride that was very fun. So we were like boat, drinking, eating, dancing. It was a vibe. And that was $75. Now there were a couple other things that we had access to do. Shout out to our tour guide, Victor. Shout out to Victor, because Victor really is that guy. If you go on the Costa Rica tour, make sure you try to get Victor, because Victor was that guy. So I don't actually think you can request a tour guide, but if you get Victor, just know your trip gonna be lit. He gave us hooked us up with the chocolate tour, which was $20. Bungee jumping at the zip line where we did zip lining was, I think, about $80. And then when we went to one of the beach days, there was a lot of water activities. I chose to go parasailing. A lot of us did, and that was $75. So some of those things you don't have to do. It's optional, but I think if you're gonna go on vacation, you might as well go big. So for me, I'm an activity babe. I'm gonna do the activities, but you are more than welcome not to do those. So other money, just make sure that you include getting food on your own, right? So those lunches that weren't covered, the dinners that weren't covered, drinks, things like that. The extra activities, souvenirs, tips for the people who are doing the activities, and our tour guide, Victor, and for our bus driver. So all of those things are things to keep in mind when you're thinking about how much money you want to bring. Next, I think the biggest thing that people are worried about is meeting with strangers. So I think this is honestly probably my favorite part about the way that EF is set up and other companies like EF, because not only do you get to explore a new place, a new country, a new environment, a new culture, new food, like there's so many new things, you also get to develop new relationships, right? And there were people on the trip, I'm gonna be honest, that if we were out in like my normal setting in life, we may have not connected, right? And I don't think that's bad to say. There are just some people that you're gonna naturally gravitate to for whatever reason, right? Similar background, similar interest. So the cool thing about EF, it brings all these people together from all different type of backgrounds, but you all have come together and you share this common goal or this common interest for travel. And I think that's so amazing. And one of the best things about travel, period, is those new relationships that you're able to develop and people that you're able to meet. Some of my best relationships are from people I've met abroad. So that is a super cool thing. So I would say with the meeting strangers and being with people you don't know, keep an open mind. This is not for you if you are somebody who doesn't like to meet new people, you don't like large groups, because how many of us was it? It was a lot of us. I don't even know. So it's not for you if you don't want to be around a large group of people, if you don't want to be around people you don't know, and if you're somebody who's going to be super negative. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's my tidbit on that. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Keep an open mind and be yourself. Be yourself. People are attracted to who you are as a person. So don't try to be anybody else but yourself. I feel like I had a great time on the trip. I was my authentic self, and we had a good time. Back to our tour guide, Victor. Victor was amazing. Shout out to Victor. And I think your tour guide can really make a difference. And it was like a running joke, I feel like, between us, because everywhere we went, Victor, when I tell you Victor knew everybody, but like, how big is Costa Rica, Victor? Because everybody is your friend, your homeboy, your homegirl, whatever. So that was such a cool experience to see, and the fact that he really loved where he came from and how he grew up, and he was so knowledgeable about everything in Costa Rica, from the geography to the history to all that. So it's super helpful to have an amazing, I'm gonna assume that all of the guides are like that, right? You kind of have to be a little bit knowledgeable about your country or wherever you are if you're gonna be a tour guide. So don't worry about that. Your tour guide has you. You're gonna be good, you're gonna be safe. They're gonna know the places, they're gonna know the people, they're gonna know the language, right? If there is another language spoken in the place that you're going. Oh, I can't talk. Next, drum roll, accommodations. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't love everywhere we stayed, but don't think you're gonna be in like 5-star luxury villas. Baby, you're going to a hostel, okay? And that's fine, that's fine. I have stayed in plenty. Why am I hitting my chest so hard? And hostels are fun too, because it's like a lot of solo travelers or young travelers, and there's usually lots of different activities and things to do in hostels. I'm kind of a hostel fan. I'm not gonna lie. It got me through some countries. Hostels got me through some places. So if you're not a hostel person, maybe this also isn't the thing for you. Now, we did get a list of the hostels that we were staying before we left, and yes, I did Google them. I did. Look at the reviews, look at the pictures. Just like small maintenance-y things, maybe a nuisance, but not necessarily like, oh, this is like the worst thing ever. Water pressure, or it being, or the water pressure or water temperature. They were fine accommodations. You go there, and most of the time you're literally just sleeping there. Like a lot of our days, we were out and about in the Costa Rica street. It wasn't a huge deal, but I will say if that was the one thing that I was like, oh, what did you not super enjoy? It would have been the accommodations. They weren't my fave. And with that, accommodations, roommates. So you are assigned, Victor assigned our roommates. My roommates were great. Shout out to Rennie and Amanda. Pretty much room with them the entire time. So everybody had their own bed. You shared a bathroom. And that was kind of the vibe. Again, keep an open mind. But I actually really enjoyed my roommates. They were funny, down to have a good time. Again, people who have traveled, again, open-minded. So yeah, so don't worry about that too. Again, I think the biggest thing about EF, traveling period in general, keeping an open mind. Keeping an open mind about the people, the culture, the food, the location, the experiences. Do not be one of those travelers that goes somewhere and complains the entire time. Because why are you here? Why did you come? Why? Don't do that. Go home. Go home, babes. Other things to note. There was a Facebook group that we joined. I want to say probably like maybe a couple months before. Maybe not a couple months. A couple months to a month before the trip actually happened. There was a Facebook group that was set up, and everybody who was on the trip was in the Facebook group. They could ask questions. There was an EF representative there that was super helpful to answering issues that we had, questions, comments, concerns. So there will be some of that guidance, and you can also always reach them through email or by calling them as well. Safety, I felt very safe in Costa Rica. Safe with the group, safe with our tour guide, safe with the activities that we were doing. Just use common sense. Like, if you are paying attention to your surroundings at home, you probably should pay attention to your surroundings when you're abroad, right? I think we could all agree with that. But I did feel very safe. Packing. Okay, so I try to be a carry-on, one of the carry-on girls, right? Who can just travel with a carry-on. Would love to be one. I am not. It is not my ministry, and I have just accepted that that is never gonna be the life for me. But if you are a carry-on girl or guy, then EF is definitely somewhere where you will thrive, because the amount of moving that we were doing and shuffling them suitcases, baby, I did not love it. I would say it's definitely easier if you can, depending on your trip, to take a carry-on. But if you're like me, go ahead and load up the suitcase, baby. And then they will send you a packing list, a suggested packing list. I did follow the packing list, and I'm glad that I did, because we had all types of weather. It was hot some days, it was rainy some days. We out here hiking, we running, we doing this. So there's a lot of different things that you have to take into account as far as clothes and different accessories that you will need, rain jackets, things like that. Definitely pay attention to that packing list and do your own research too. Like, what's the weather in Costa Rica, or what should I pack for Costa Rica in November? Like, get specific with it. Google is one of the best resources that we have, especially for travel, and people will share. When I went, it was still kind of, I mean, obviously COVID is still going on. Okay, it's gonna be here forever at this point. There were a lot of mask mandates that were still up during that time, November, December. So we did wear our masks out in public, but when we were with the group, like on the bus, we did not. So I don't know how those COVID protocols will change now, or how they are towards the end of the year if you take the trip around the same time that I took it, but they will let you know what you need to do. We also all had to be vaccinated, so that was the other thing. I think that's still a requirement, like vaccination is a requirement. If you're anti-vax, maybe not for you. That's it. That's kind of all that's it. We did it. We made it through. Got my little note here. Overall, my final review, little look back. I do think it's worth it. I think it's worth it if you are a first-time traveler. I think, do we have anybody who was that was their first time? I think we did. Or if you are somebody who has traveled quite a bit. And it was great not doing any of the work. Like, not being the person that, which, don't get me wrong, I do love to plan trips because I get excited about, oh, we're gonna do this, or what can we do that, or what do they have here? But it is nice to just sit back and be like, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready to go. So that was really cool. Costa Rica is a beautiful place. So many wonderful memories. Go back and look at the vlogs because I feel like I really did capture a lot of what we did on that trip. We did a lot. We did do a lot. It was great. So if you're thinking about doing it, I highly recommend it. Like I said, if you're somebody who's traveled, if you're somebody who's not, if you want to push yourself out of your comfort zone, right? This is definitely, and I feel like there was somebody on the trip who said this was something that was not in their comfort zone, and that's why they did it. And I thought that was super cool because, yeah, why not? Like, one of the best ways to get over your fears, right, is to just jump right in, like face the fear head on. They have a ton of trips from all over the world, from varying in lengths to locations, all of that. Definitely check it out if you're interested. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.